Most sellers think that their home is ready to show. It looks fine, but fine is exactly the problem. Most buyers are looking at 5, 6, 10 houses in a day, and they're not looking for a fine home. They're looking for a home that really speaks to them, where they feel welcomed and invited the moment they walk through the door. A few years ago, you didn't have to work really hard to get your home show ready because the market was insane. You could just list the property and it would sell. You'd have multiple offers overnight, and that's just not the case anymore. Buyers are aware that it's a slower market. They've got a lot more selection. Right now, more than half the houses on the market have been on the market for more than 60 days, and buyers are taking their time. They're being selective, and they're making sure that they find the perfect house for them. The good news is that with a couple simple changes, you don't have to do a lot, but there's some really strategic, thoughtful things you can do to make sure that when buyers go through your property, they feel like it is absolutely the one and they feel at home. They make that emotional connection. So let me walk you through a couple tips on how to make sure that your home is really ready to show. Hey, my name is John Gluch, and I'm the team leader of the Gluch Group, and my team and I have walked through thousands of houses with buyers. So we have been on the front lines of exactly what buyers are looking for. And the first thing I want to talk about is something that people often overlook, and that's what are buyers going to touch? What are they going to feel as they walk through the home? So stuff like door handles. I went to a multi-million-dollar house the other day, brand new build, and the front door handle was like super wobbly, like clearly broken. It's like the very first impression people have of the home. It's a huge miss. Cabinet drawers and pulls, all the doors throughout the home. This stuff is not that hard to fix. It's not that expensive. A handyman can do it, or if you're handy, you can figure it out. Just tighten up the screws or the bolts, maybe switch out a handle if need be, screw the cabinet down tighter. Those kind of things really do make a difference. So think through every part of the house that a buyer might touch. All right, the second thing is decluttering the home and depersonalizing it. This is very cliche, old school advice, but you would not believe how many people do not follow this advice. It's super, super simple. First of all, you're gonna move, so start packing. Pack everything that you can live without. It should be like Spartan. Your house should feel like a model home or like a hotel room. When you go to hotel rooms, model homes, they don't feel full or cluttered or lived in. They feel like a model home, and that's what you want your house to look like. And depersonalize it. You won't see, the photos at a hotel of people, right? Because when you move into a hotel room, you want to feel like it's your room. That's also true when people are looking at your house. They don't want to see photos of you. When I'm walking through houses with family photos, with buyers, every single time that people stop and they look at the photos and they think about that, they've now stepped out of this is the place for me mode and stepped into I wonder who lives here mode. So we do not want that at all. So it feels cliche, and like, does it really matter? Yes, I'm telling you that 100% matters. As far as decluttering, it should feel like a little weird. Like, it should be to the point where it's like, does anyone really live here? Put everything away, and all the stuff, like, let's say you use your toaster every day. You can't live without it. No problem. But when people are coming over to show the home, that bad boy should be in a cabinet somewhere nice and neat, tucked away, so that the countertops are wide open and clean and clear. Your shampoos and soaps and all the stuff in the bathroom, your toothpaste and all that jazz should not be in the shower caddy or on the countertops. It should all be packed away in the cabinets nice and neat. You don't have to live that way, but if there's a showing, then you want it set up that way. And if it's a situation where you're not at home often, maybe you don't work from home, you work away from home, and showings are going to happen while you're out, then yeah, you might have to get in a place where it's a little inconvenient to live that way, but it's kind of nice and neat, and it's just a part of selling a house. So not critical, not a deal breaker, but that kind of stuff really does help people feel like they can envision themselves in the home. So declutter and depersonalize costs you nothing and really, really makes a big difference. All right, third point is create a 15-minute showing routine and stick with it. So get the house mostly dialed. 80-90% of what I just said is just sort of done all the time. And yeah, maybe some of that's a little inconvenient, but it's worth it because you end up getting more money for your house, right? But that last 10%, you should have a routine dialed, where it's like, when we know we have a showing, we do the XYZ, we pick up the thing, we move the whatever. We've just got a routine where we get the dog put away, whatever it is, and we know what we're doing. We've got like a fire drill that we have figured out and orchestrated, and we know what's going to happen, and we're ready. If you're in a spot again where you're not going to be home likely when these showings occur, then come up with a plan for that. What's something you can do when you leave the house to prepare it? Maybe a neighbor's involved, or a friend or family member who can pop over and take the dog someplace. Figuring out such a solution for all those things to make people feel very comfortable when they come look at your home is so critical, and ends up making you a lot more money when you sell the property. Next point is, as part of that routine, you should think through how to make the house feel light and bright. So, windows and blinds open, that kind of thing. You don't have to leave your lights on all day, especially if you leave the house for work, that kind of thing, because buyer's agents are going to be coming through the property, and they'll pop on the lights and they'll turn them off when they leave. But ultimately, if you can make the house feel light and bright, you don't want it to be 1,000,000 degrees, turn the air conditioner down a little bit, that kind of thing, especially if you got a little remote control to be able to do that when you know there's a showing, fantastic, make that happen. You want people to feel comfortable when they're walking through the property. Also, a quick warning, this does happen, not a lot. I don't think in all the home sales we've done, which is thousands, I can't remember a time anything was stolen, which is awesome. Because again, usually, well, always, buyer's agents or one of our agents as the listing team is going to be there showing the people aren't just going to be wandering through the house alone. But it's not uncommon for a house to get, the door doesn't get locked, a light gets left on, a window is open, things like that happen. As a buyer's agent showing property, you might look at all these different rooms and it's easy to forget to go turn that light off or whatever. And so that does happen. If you live there, that's typically no big deal. You're going to get home and you're going to find out and fix it. One of the things we do as a team is we have vacant house checks. So we'll go by regularly the house if it's a vacant property and just make sure everything's dialed in. We'll take a look, make sure there's no funny smells going on, the pool's not turning green, someone didn't leave on the garbage, just whatever crazy stuff, right? So we do that regularly as part of our service as a listing team to be sure that the house is always looking sharp and ready for showings. Lastly, we suggest that you have a staging appointment of some kind. So we have a team member who is an incredible designer, fantastic at this, has just an eye for suggestions of, should we move the furniture here? Maybe the way you've got it set up lives really well for you, but it doesn't look awesome. So as part of our listing consultation, no charge, we send over our designer to look through all the different parts of your home, make suggestions on exactly how it should look awesome, make sure it's fantastic. Of course, the next level would be full-blown staging, and some of our listing packages include that at no charge. So that would be the house gets vacated and emptied, and we put professional, amazing furniture in to make the house look awesome. So depending on whether you live there or not, either way, you should absolutely have a staging plan and a consultation that's done by an expert, someone who does this all the time and is fantastic at it. Really, really critical part of the process. So if you're considering putting your house on the market or you just can't figure out why your home won't sell, we'd be happy to take a look and figure out what needs to happen to make sure that that property sells. Feel free to reach out. You can drop a comment below, or you can call us at 480-378-6700 or email us at contact@gluchgroup.com.